Let's start with the bottom of our water bottle holder. I'm using a cotton, 50% cotton and 50% viscose from bamboo. So it is not a stretchy yarn. So let's start with a magic ring, and we will chain 3, and then we will have 11 double crochets for a total of 12 double crochets. We will count the chain as a double crochet. Okay, so I'm going into that chain before the top stitch. So I'm not gonna go into that top stitch because I will be increasing in that one. So we'll go into the chain and you do a slip knot. Tighten your middle so it's really nice and secure. Put it here in front of your working yarn so it goes behind your stitches and we can hide it there. So now walk your loop into that first open spot, into that first stitch. Walk your yarn into that stitch. Do a slip stitch there because we will start from that first stitch, and then you chain 2, and into the same stitch do 1 double crochet. So here we increased our first stitch. So now we will increase in every stitch for a total of 24. So we'll increase here. Increasing means we'll put 2 stitches in the same spot. All right, so we have 2 posts into that stitch. We'll go again under that little V that it's formed on top of the stitches, and we'll put 2 double crochets. And we'll have 24 at the end, and I'll catch you when I get there. Okay, so here I am back at the beginning. We will go into that chain, and I'll get a slip stitch here through my last stitch, and then I will do a slip stitch into that first stitch, and now I'll chain 2 for my next double crochet. So now we'll increase in every other stitch. So we'll have one double crochet, and then into the next stitch we'll be increasing. So we'll have 2 double crochets here. Into the next stitch we'll have 1 double crochet, and then into the next one we will have 2 double crochets. So 1 2 1 2 1 2, we're gonna be following that pattern for a total of 36 stitches. All right, so keep going and I'll meet you at the beginning again. So here I am at the beginning again. We go into that first chain, slip stitch, so we close our round, and now we're gonna start with the next round. We slip stitch into that first stitch, into that V, slip stitch there, and now we're gonna chain 2 for the next double crochet that we're gonna count this as, and then we're gonna chain 2 more. So this will be for the space between the stitches. So we're gonna skip 2 stitches from here, so we're gonna count those little V's here. We're gonna skip 2 of them, and into that third one we will have a double crochet. So we chain 2, we skip again 2 stitches here, and then into the third one we do a double crochet. Again, chain 2, skip 2 stitches into the third one, double crochet. and I'll meet you again when I finish this round. So here I am at the last chain. So I chain 2, and I will count my chains here, my chain. So I'll count the 2 stitches, and I'll go into that third one, so I leave enough space for that chain here. I will slip stitch in it, and now I will chain 2 more for my next double crochet, because I will do one more round of this mesh pattern. So chain 2, and then chain 2 more for your space, and then double crochet on the top of the post from the bottom round, and then chain 2, and then we'll go into the next post, into that next stitch we did, chain 2, and then one more time into that stitch of the post from the previous round, and we will go around all of the posts. We will have a total of 12 posts here in our water bottle cover. Okay, so here we are at the last chain 2, and then we find that stitch we need in that chain to slip stitch, so we have an equal there, a little square. And then since we're going to be changing a color, but we still need that green color there, I will pull through that big loop here I make. I'll pull through my work, and this will kind of secure my green thread. So there. So it's still there, and I'm gonna be able to carry it behind my other colors, but it's very secure, and I don't have to worry about it, about making a loop or anything else. So here I will start with my next color. I'll make a slip knot, get my hook through it, and I'll start with my pattern now. So here I need to pull and start my new yarn, so that's a little bit tricky, but now that you can pull your tail and tighten that loop, now we can start. So we chain 2, and this will count as our double crochet. So we need a cluster of 2 double crochets here, so we're gonna do the first chain and then the second double crochet, and then chain 1, and then into that same stitch, into that same place, we'll have 2 more double crochets. 1, 2 double crochets, and there we have the first. It kind of looks like a heart. So we have a chain between the 2 clusters of 2 double crochets. Then we have 2 chains between the motifs. So we're gonna jump to the next one. So we will not gonna carry the green color anymore because we need it for the next round. So it's gonna stay there. Make sure you don't catch that one. We will skip a post, and in every other post we will be building a little heart. So we'll skip this one, and in this one we will have the next clusters of 2 double crochets. So here's the first double crochet, the second, chain 1, and then we will have the second set of 2 double crochets. All right, well, let's see what happened here. There, the motif is ready, and then we will chain 2 so we can connect to the next one. So we skip 1 green post, and then we build the next set. Okay, so here we are again, back at the beginning. We connect our chain to the beginning of the round with a double crochet and an extra chain that you really tighten really well, and cut the yarn off. We are done with this color. So we have to now keep going with our next color, which is the green one. And the pattern calls now for this separation of the hearts and then making that little middle there. So we are grabbing again our green yarn that we did not cut off because we need it. It's our base color. We can walk that color a bit in the back and still hold it there so we can hide it. And we will start with our green color. So we will have a little single crochet here in the middle, but because this is the beginning of the yarn, we're just gonna loop it through that middle there and we'll do a slip stitch. However, this will be a single crochet in the rest of them. So we'll chain two, and now we will go into that post that we skipped when we were building our hearts here. So let's go. We yarn over and we are trying to do it loosely so it doesn't pull too much. We go into that previous from the one before the previous. And we keep our chain here of the yellow in the middle. We grab that one too. And then we pull through the first two loops. And we keep our loop on our hook. Then we do it one more time. So we go in, yarn over and go into that same stitch, pull through, and now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're gonna pull through all 3 of them. We will chain 2 again. We'll make a single crochet into that middle of the heart. We will chain 2. And now again, we will go into that post from the round before the previous. Yarn over. And then we'll do a double crochet there. Pull through 2 loops, wait, yarn over, go into that same space, pull through the first 2 loops and wait. Now pull through all of the 3 loops on your hook. And one more time, chain 2, single crochet into your middle, chain 2, yarn over, into that post from the round before the previous. We do double crochets, pull through the first 2 loops, wait there, yarn over, go into that same place, pull through the first 2 and wait. We have 3 loops, pull through all 3 of them, chain 2, and then we keep going all around till we are done. And here are our little hearts. Okay, here we are with the last chain 2. We will go into that first middle and we will finish our round. Okay, so we'll just go into that one, slip stitch, and we are done. Now we're gonna have 2 rounds of just a little mesh pattern, which will be like those 2 first rounds we did here. Chain 2 for the first post, chain 2 for the space, and then double crochet into those 2 posts from the previous round, but we have only 1 stitch on top, remember, because we pulled them together. So we're gonna go into that stitch and then we have chain 2, and then we go a double crochet into that middle we built from the previous round. Okay, so chain 2 into that cluster, chain 2 into the middle. So we are again building the base for the next round of hearts. All right, So we will do that one more round. So we're gonna have again those squares, and then we'll have another round of hearts. I'm here at the end. I go into that chain, slip stitch, chain 2 for the next post, chain 2 for the space, and I'm doing one more round of just squares. And I'm almost ready with this round. Chain 2 more, and then I'll go into my square. Now chain 1 more. So now I'm gonna make my loop really big, and I'll stretch it out, and I'll pull through my whole project so I can make it into a knot there. So it's nice and secure. When you pull it through really well, it pulls one more stitch, and then that's why an extra chain helps not to pull your whole project there and shrink your stitch. So there, that chain stitches there all form squares. Okay, so I'm ready to add my new color, and I do the same thing. I'll start with my slip knot, and then I'll go into that first space, pull my yarn so I make it really tight, and then I'll build my next set of hearts. Chain 2, a double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets here, chain 2, once you decide to end your project, you can add as many colors as you want, you can go as many rounds as you want. We will go back to the beginning, and then we will make a slip stitch into that empty spot so we can start making a nice scalloped edge, so we have a nice finish to the project. So chain 2, and into that same spot here you make 1 double crochet. So now we have chain 2 and a double crochet. We move to the next empty spot, we do a slip stitch there, we chain 2 again, 1 double crochet, we go into the next spot, we slip stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet, go into the next spot, slip stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and then we go all around like that. So this gives a little nice little finish to our little project with that little nice scalp. You can also actually make it in a different color, and it's gonna look cute as well. All right, I'll meet you at the end again. Doing the last one, double crochet. Now we'll go into that first loop we did here, that first empty spot, and we'll do a slip stitch. And then now we're gonna start making the strap for it. So I'm gonna go into that first chain we made with a slip stitch. And there I am. So now I'll chain 2 for my first double crochet. Then I'll make 1 more double crochet into that first chain spot. Then I'll make 1 double crochet into that middle where I connected them from the previous round. Now I have 3 double crochets here, counting the first one, and then I'll do 1 more double crochet into that first chain again from that little shells or scallops we made. So now I have 4 double crochets here. That's how wide my strap's gonna be. So I chain 2, and if you don't want to forget that chain is a stitch there, you can use markers to help you not forget to make double crochets in those spots. So I'll put a marker here, I'll turn, and then I'll go and make the rest of my double crochets. So here is my second stitch, my third, and here in that chain I forgot to put double crochet, but I'll go in it, and because I use a smaller hook, I tightened it really well, so there, it's fighting a bit. All right, so I'll use markers so they can help me here. So I will get my marker for the next stitch so I don't forget about it, and I'll go, so this, since it's reminding me there, all good, and then like that, my second double crochet, actually it's my third since I'm counting my chain, and into that chain I'll use, okay, chain 2, and all right, here I am at the end. I will cut my yarn off and I will make my last pull through here. I'll get my sewing needle, and I already know my middle, right? It's right here. You measure carefully, and then with your needle just sew through the loops and you connect your strap to the beginning.